Will McDonald naturally is, and that's really it. The rest of these guys, Quinnen's a really good pass rusher. I wouldn't call him a sack artist. Even Jermaine at his best is not that kind of player. He's a good pass rusher, but Jermaine is a little heavy-handed, can play with some power, gives you a little more against the run. So, and that's balance. That's a good thing. You can't have a defensive line full of pass rush artists because then teams will just run at you. So I think why it doesn't matter as much with this scheme is they're not just going to be rushing a front four. You nailed it, Joe. Like, they're going to be blitzing a lot. There's going to be a lot of different ways to get home that we might look up and be like, oh, Will McDonald ended up having 10 to 12 sacks like we thought, and Quinnen chipped in with his 6 to 7. But then, hey, Quincy Williams, who's usually around 2 to 3, ended up with 5.5 this year.
Yeah.
Sherwood added in 3.5 this year. Like you said, is there a slot blitzer where you start to move guys around? And Stevens, who's the most physical corner on the team, for his shortcomings in coverage, he's the most physical corner on the team in other aspects of the game, where Stevens starts to affect in that. Malachi Moore, do they kind of get him comfortable out on the third as the third safety out on the field? And he's a smarter player, so he'll understand timing and how to attack. So I think it's easy to sit here and definitely go like, okay, it should be Will McDonald and Quinnen. And then obviously when Jermaine gets his legs back under him, it's tough though when you're looking for the guy out of nowhere that gives you 3 to 4. I would hope that's Leonard Taylor, because they just don't have much of D tackle, and Leonard Taylor's a guy that should get on the field on passing downs in that rush package on the interior. If the Jets are on a 3rd and 11, like Derek Nottie should not be on the field. Maybe they like Byron Cowart a little bit more in that role, but that's a spot that Leonard Taylor should get on the field. So yeah, I think it's going to be relatively uneventful in terms of how the sack numbers go, but how they generate pressure and get off the field, I think they'll be much more creative than the previous staff, because they have to be.
Yeah, I mean, look, that was a little bit of what Rex would do, right? They were very active with how they would blitz. They would attack the A gap.
Greg Williams.
They'd send guys off the edge. So, maybe I'm underselling McDonald. I'm really curious to see, like, will he just be really solid like he was in year 2? And I think we were all happy with his leap. Or is he going to he put on the 15 pounds. He's in a new scheme. Is he going to be like a 14, 15 sack guy? We're like, holy shit.
Like a Max Crosby level player?
Like, we haven't seen a guy like when the Jets have 10 sack seasons, like if you go back through their recent history, it's like Calvin Pace barely gets 10. Quinnen barely gets 10. Huff had 10 exactly. I think Wilkerson is the last guy. I think he had like 14 or 15 in a season. And like you go back a little further, Abraham and Ellis had some seasons like that.